What's going on, guys? I am back. I took just a couple day break. We're back in it. I got a nice little haircut. I feel freshened up just a little bit. I was looking a little bit gruff. I was starting to look like Hagrid or maybe Akuma, in the morning from Street Fighter. It was looking a little bit rough. So we had to cut up the sides and get back in our game. Anyways, we're here to review Companion, written and directed by Drew Hancock, where we have people going out on a getaway to a cabin, and one of the guests does not seem to be who they are. And I like to say this movie is very unique. It's different. It does have originality when it comes to its writing. I haven't seen too much. There are a couple things that I could really relates to another film or a TV series, such as Westworld, maybe Ready Player One, or Blade Runner, I would say, or even I would say Alita, Battle Angel, maybe, for some chemistry. And if you don't know, with one of the guests, she is definitely an android. And there's always been talks. I mean, people have always talked about what's going to happen when we bring in robots. And when we bring in robots, how are they going to treat us? How are they going to take care of us? And at this movie really portrays how they take care of us at a romantic level. And I mean, it is definitely sexual explicit. The characters do go into, I would say, a romance, but not for the one. I love Jack Quaid's performance in this. I've been a fan, I guess, in Scream 5. It's nice to see him in something different. Harvey Gilligan is also at the wheel, where I've actually recently seen him in We Are in the Shadows. I came across this TV series with my wife, and that has just been amazing. So to see him in this movie was really fun, too. And then, of course, Lucas Gage. Lucas Gage, I just keep seeing him in more things, more and more and more, even Smile 2. I think I first saw him in Euphoria, and then The White Lotus, and a couple other things that I just can't remember offhand. But I'm glad to see him get some growth. I think he's an okay actor. This performance that he gives is very believable, and I think will catch you offhand, just completely. But overall, guys, I just really want to say Sophie Thatcher is just another one that I just been kind of really liking. I did watch Heretic, and the performance was really good with Hugh Grant. It was enthralling. But when it comes to Companion and the performance she gives here, I think is just a little bit more phenomenal. I really do like the performance. I like the costume design. I really enjoy the soundtrack for what they're shooting for. Again, we're looking for not a romance. This is still a horror. I'd say a horror thriller, but there is some romance involved just because of what they're dealing with these androids and how they think. And you eventually become very empathetic towards the androids. You feel bad. You feel really bad about the robots. And not so much the humans. And I'm not going to get into any spoilers or anything like that. But it's just very cool to me how we can empathize with robots. And androids and things like that. And even how George Lucas, made us feel for RTD2. And how they actually have emotion and give them character development. And that's what's really cool. We get a lot of backstory. We do, again, a lot of showing is what we want. We get a lot of showing and little narratives given to us at a time throughout the film. We get little spits of backstory. It's not just giving us the whole. It's not like, here's their backstory. No. Drew Hancock does very well, kind of just leading up to this. I think this is actually his first big film. It seems like he's directed a lot of TV series. I know he did My Dead Ex. And, the one I just can't think of the other big one that he did years ago. But it looks like this is his first really big film. And I gotta say, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I was actually impressed. It did have, like I said, originality to the film. I think that's really cool when we can bring something new to the plate. we're at a time where everybody's like, hey, we're just repeating the same old thing. We're doing the same old movie, just in a different way. I mean, you could take inspiration, but nothing's original anymore. Nothing's new. And everybody just wants to remake everything's. So this, I really did feel like it did have some originality. Other than I would like to say Westworld. I did get the same vibes with Westworld at certain times. And that is done by, I mean, the great Michael Crichton, which you also know him doing Jurassic Park. But it did have some similarities to it. Not completely, but it did have some similarities. Also, I feel like the film was a little bit short. I wanted it to be a little bit longer. I thought it ended a little bit too quick. And some of the characters, I think, would stop doing what they're doing at a certain moment or level. It is believable. The acting is believable. I do say that with courage, but there's some that's I don't know. Maybe I would have let up. I'll let you be the judge when you watch the film, but I do believe there's some bits of the movie where I just don't think the characters would necessarily do that, or they would pull out of what they have set up in the beginning. Again, not going to get into spoilers. I want you to check out the movie. I want you to see what it's all about. Again, I loved Sophie Thatcher's performance. I really just came across her ever since I watched Heretic, and then I saw her in this. I was like, oh man, here she is again. And I really want to see her in more stuff because it looks like she is a fan of horror. That is her flavor that she's really dabbling in, and that's one of my favorite genres is horror in film. So I'm glad to see that we have a little bit of taste of originality still out there. Again, just would have loved the film to be a little bit longer. So with that being said, I'm going to give Companion an 8.4 out of 10. Give it like a C plus or maybe a B minus at best. But I thought the film was fun. I really enjoyed it. If you want to kick back and watch a horror romance, I guess. Pull your spouse aside or your loved one. Check it out. Watch it. Tell me what you think. I always appreciate the amazingness and never ever forget to stay marvelous. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.